Alright, so let's take a look at rearranging formulas. So rearranging formulas is a fancy way to solve equations for a specific variable. So you can see that we want to solve for this one for t. So basically that means I want to get t by itself. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I need to get rid of this plus 3w. In order to do that, I'm going to undo it by using the inverse operation. So I'm going to subtract 3w from the right side, and we know that whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. That's called the addition property of equality. Alright, so now that's going to give me x minus 3w equals 2t. Now, some people like to write this a slightly different way, so let me go ahead and show you. You could write this as negative 3w plus x equals 2t. Notice the x is still a positive and the 3w is still a negative or a minus. Alright, so we're trying to isolate t, so now we need to move the 2. So it's 2 times t, so the opposite operation of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So I'm going to need to divide the right side by 2 as well as the left side. So we get x minus 3w all divided by 2 equals t. Now, if that were to be able to be simplified, like 3 divided by 2, then I would want to go ahead and simplify that, but I can't, so we're going to leave it like that. The other way you could write it is 1/2 x minus 3/2 w is equal to t. Now, I would probably leave it like this, okay? But these are equivalent. And again, very similarly, we could divide both sides of this equation by 2, and we would get negative 3w plus x, all of that divided by 2, is equal to t. Alright, let's take a look at one more. Alright, so now we're going to solve this formula for m. Now, any time that I see a fraction and I know I need to get rid of it, we could divide both sides by 1/2. But dividing both sides by 1/2 is a little bit messy. We don't want a fraction in the denominator. So what I'm going to do instead of dividing by 1/2 is I'm going to multiply by 2. So I'm going to multiply the left side by 2 and the right side by 2. Now on the left side, 2 times k just gives us 2k. Now what happens on the right side? Well, 2 times 1/2 is just 1. 1 times mv squared is just mv squared. So again, multiplying by 2 is the same thing as dividing by 1/2. Alright, so now what are we going to do? We're trying to get m by itself. So now we need to remove this v squared. Well, how is v squared connected to the m? By multiplication. So the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide the right side by v squared as well as the left side. I can't simplify that, so that's going to give us 2k divided by v squared is equal to m. And we're done. We have m isolated.